great disturbance in the studio system. A podcast giving credence to independent films. Who amongst you will travel to the far moon of Hollywood and bring an end to this podcast? I'll do it. Good. Good, my apprentice. Go!
Hey guys, welcome to The Film With No Name, the show that talks about independent movies that you may not have seen or even heard of, but you can stream right now. So today's film is a film called... Who are you?
My name's Matt. I'm on the show now.
Oh. Okay. Well, today's film is an independent horror movie called Patchwork, released by The Orchard and currently streaming on Netflix. So let's take a look at this thing. Right?
Yeah. Do your show. It's your show. I'm just on it now.
Okay.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Alright, so that was a look at Patchwork. I'm one of your hosts, Lee Boxleitner. This is...
I'm Sam Boxleitner.
And this is...
Matt Laumann.
Matt Laumann is, one of the best producers in town.
Thank you very much.
So, let's get to it, guys. Patchwork. A bombastic throwback horror comedy that follows three young women who go out one night and find themselves Frankensteined together the next morning. They have to get through their differences to find out who did this and exact their revenge.
This movie was written by Chris Lee Hill and Tyler McIntyre is also the director.
And I believe they just had another film come out called Tragedy Girls.
Tragedy Girls.
I haven't seen that yet, but it's another independent horror, I think a horror comedy, that we'll have to check out at some point.
It's in the slasher genre.
I know this guy won't want to watch it, but...
I may. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance.
Back to Patchwork, right? We got our cast. Tori Stolper, who's our lead, Jennifer. We got Tracy Fairway as Ellie, who I thought was fantastic. Maria Blasucci as Madeline. James Phelps, our romantic lead, Garrett. And a side note here, you may recognize him. I know I did, and I had to get on my phone and go who the heck is this James Phelps?
Willy Wonka.
No, man. It's Fred Weasley from the Harry Potter series.
Okay. Yeah, I was close with the Willy Wonka thing.
Which made me think we should maybe do, at some point, Where Are They Now? Harry Potter edition.
Yeah, because no one knows where any of those kids are now.
Right, well, only the ones that end up in independent films. So we can just be oh.
I don't think anyone's really done anything
Rupert
since then.
Grint is the one we're going to be talking about.
Let's reel it back in here.
Sorry.
Corey Sorensen, who was, I think, a standout in this film. He plays the mad scientist.
Oh, and let's not forget Owlcat.
Owlcat.
Owl.
A famous cameo. I don't know if you actually remember Clash of the Titans, but they got the same little person that played the Clockwork Owl.
Oh.
Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking
Darby
about.
Henderson.
Yeah. Wait.
Let's talk about what Patchwork is. I'm going to say first, I freaking love this movie. This movie, to me, is right up my alley. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's got some great gore moments. it's completely ludicrous, but because it's ludicrous the entire time, the suspension of disbelief aspect is just thrown out the window.
Oh yeah, they don't even care about
from
that.
moment one, you are not supposed to take this movie seriously,
Absolutely.
and I thought that was really good. The beginning of this movie sets a really good tone.
Yeah.
Some people didn't like her, but I think Tori Stolper, really, I thought she was really good in this.
I'll take that as my cue. Yeah. When it came to just
Yeah.
her playing her character Jennifer in the beginning of the movie, it was really kind of sluggish. I didn't like the character. I think was my main
Well,
thing.
the character is
yeah.
a hateable.
And that-
she's one of those people that you
that's
meet,
important, though.
Right,
and you
right.
cannot stand her. But this isn't a spoiler either. This is the very beginning. She's at a birthday party by herself.
That should say something.
That says.
Oh yeah.
In her defense, and I mean, I can see totally where you're coming from.
Right.
But in her defense, I have and I think we talked about this on our last episode. They kind of rushed through a lot of the setup because they had a lot to set up.
A lot to set up.
And what's cool about it is they know this, and they kind of like without
Tarantino
spoiling, they
this a bit.
Tarantino it a bit so that they can give you a little more setup later. And I really like that. But as far as Tori's concerned, her setup scene is the most important setup scene because it's the first real scene that you see, and they immediately give her a character that I don't care how you interpret those lines, you're not going to like this person.
This person is not a good person.
Um,
I mean, they're not a bad person, but
not
they're
bad,
very unlikable.
But yeah,
person.
yeah. I'm not gonna go to this girl's birthday either.
Oh, hell no.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, that place looked expensive.
We do see her this is kind of a spoiler, but not really. We'll see her.
She loosens up a little.
Yeah,
This whole experience.
We see her again
loosens.
through a very, very cool kind of way. We see her again not as the Patchwork lady.
Yeah.
And that's where her arc is. And so by the end, you're like, okay, you know what? I kind of
Yeah.
feel for this lady, you know.
And there's also a twist at the end of this movie that I really enjoyed.
which we won't talk about.
We won't talk about it, but watch this movie because there is a twist. One of the people that I think killed it more than anyone, she's fantastic in this movie, is Tracy Fairway.
Yes, I agree.
She is so good in this movie at being the blonde ditzy girl archetype, but then there were these layers to her character where you actually were like, okay, I feel bad for this girl.
Yeah, and
like,
that's where she really brought it.
She just desperately wants to be liked.
The one part of the movie where I actually did laugh out loud and truly like paused it to give myself a good breather was the scene where she had already been taken back to the frat house.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting into spoiler territory, and we want to save that for our spoiler cast. Let's just do general impressions.
Okay.
Lee, what do you think?
I loved it. I mean, it definitely had its flaws, and it was obviously a very low budget independent horror movie. But I think with what they had, and I think what their goal was at the end of the day, I think they achieved it.
Matt, what do you think?
These are definitely filmmakers that I would want, and I'm happy to be climbing the independent ranks with. I mean, I definitely would be able to have a beer with these guys and carry a conversation.
If you're watching.
If you're watching, I don't know. I think we actually know these guys. But
No, there's one person watching. I can see you.
I enjoyed it. I think if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it like 2.5 stars out of 5. And for me, that's like, I don't feel like I wasted my time watching it, but I wouldn't ask for a refund if I saw it in a theater or anything like that. I didn't hate it, but it's not a movie that I won't watch it again.
Yeah.
I'll recommend it to people in passing, but it's like I said, I saw all the things that the filmmakers were putting into it. I enjoyed it for that. I just think the execution and it could have been better. I'm sure there's a reason for everything that went wrong. And, so I'm not knocking you guys there. I just, the finished product just didn't do it for me.
Understandable.
The way that the filmmakers, I'm guessing.
Sam,
wanted.
what did you think about this movie?
I think I'm in the middle.
No, you're not. I am.
Haha.
Okay, I think I agree with both you guys on a lot of points. Lee and I saw this. I'm not sure, Matt, were you there for this premiered at least in LA
at ScreamFest.
At ScreamFest in 2015, and when we saw it. Granted, it's a film festival and everyone's having a lot of fun, and I had a couple drinks at the infamous bar at the TLC Grauman's Man's Chinese Theater. But when I saw it, it was like, this is like a movie I can throw popcorn at the screen and have fun with. And
That's fair. I'll give you that.
And I really, really like. Now I have to say that watching it again, I in a much more sober environment. I saw it with my wife as well, who had never seen it, and I was like, "Oh, honey, you got to see it." And the second time through exposed some of its shortcomings, and I still firmly believe that a lot of those shortcomings came because of the lack of budget. And for this particular film, and I'm usually uberly critical on something that I didn't like, and there are things I didn't like about this film, but like I said, I really think a lot of it had to do with no budget, and I believe they shot this in 9 days, the entire feature.
Insane.
9 days. So I gotta say, like, God, I can't, all the things I would nitpick about it, I kind of have to throw them out the window, because the heart and soul of this movie is so good.
Yeah.
Hashtag Owlcat.
Hashtag Owlcat.
Hashtag Owlcat for the win. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Patchwork on Netflix. If you haven't already, like, share, notification bell, you know the drill. Don't forget, independent cinema is incredibly important, and we just want to help keep it alive, and we'd like you to do so as well. Tell us what you think. Oh, also, we'd like to thank ScreamFest for showing us this film. ScreamFest is an amazing festival that happens every year in Los Angeles, California during the month of October. I strongly recommend it. You are going to see amazing independent films in the horror genre. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
This chamber is so big, I just wish more people hung out here with me. I mean, I could fit like 4 dance parties simultaneously, and I'm just by myself.